If you voted for some Suncorp Super Netball today, then I give you Nissan Arena, a fantastic atmosphere for the Firebirds against the Lightning. Queensland against the Sunshine Coast. The Firebirds, they are 4 and 6. They need to keep winning to make the finals. The Lightning, they're 3 and 7. Their finals dream, their perfect run has disappeared, but they're here to be spoilers, to disrupt the race of so many clubs to the finals. And as these players are showing us, there's some high spirit still at the Lightning. Sharon, Finn and White, and they're here to cause a boil over.
They sure are. Look, as you said, it's the Firebirds really need to get a win today, and they really need to make the most of this home crowd. Just listen to them. There's almost 5,000 people in this stadium, so they're going to love every minute of the vocal crowd here today.
Matt Russell alongside Sharon, Finn and White, Laura Geitz, another former Firebird, joining us in commentary. And here come the Firebirds. They've lost their last 3 against the Vixens and Magpies narrowly. The margin's 2 and 4 goals. They went down by 13 against the Thunderbirds midweek. So 3 road losses. Does a return home bring a return to happier times? Ruby Bakewell-Doran certainly hope so. The game ball to be delivered. The umpires, Taylor Farrell, Tara Warner, and Kim Ravalian has the centre pass. We're underway in another battle of the Bruce. Straight away there's an early break. And Danelle Wallen waits only seconds to settle her nerves. Another head. They're on the board, the Firebirds.
And they're the kind of feeds that we need to see from the Firebirds. That quick release of the ball, not floating in the air like we saw last week against the Thunderbirds, where Sterling and the other defender, sorry, has lost my thoughts there, but they were just snapping those high balls coming into the circle. So that quick release is going to be very vital for them today.
Shamira Sterling, Tanya Wilson doing a great job for the Thunderbirds.
Thank you, Matt.
Cara Conan at the post applauds her first goal. Cara Conan shooting at 89% this season, but certainly Steph Wood and Riley Batchelgore, when we see her later on, will look to improve their season percentages. Nothing wrong with Gretel Boetta, and she starts on the right note as well. 88% for Gretel this season. So prominent in Nissan net points voting. In fact, she's part of that rolling team of the year as goal attack, averaging 72 Nissan net points per outing. Start for this player, Annie Miller. Short handoff for Steph Wood, but Ruby Bakewell-Doran makes her intentions clear very early.
And that's exactly what we talked about, them just putting their foot down early on so they can stamp their authority and just go on with it.
90 seconds down in this one. Goal for goal as Steph Wood joins the party. Laura Geitz.
Yeah, it's interesting, Sharon, you mentioned that the Firebirds are off to a good start. They are, but the defensive pressure down here of the Lightning, and they've just turned it over there, so they're pretty happy with that 3-second call. Interesting to see Tara Hinchliffe drop back into the circle in that 2-on-1 Wallen really early. They've got to be careful there because they need to know, or you would expect that Tara Hinchliffe would know, that the pressure needs to be applied on Gretel Boetta early, hands over. So interesting to see that that's the game plan they've started with early on.
So all 4 shooters took it in turns to score the first 4, and then Cara Conan turned her first into a double. So the Lightning by 1. As we heard Laura speak about pre-game, really keen on a fast start. It has been a problem for them. They've made runs in the third quarter on multiple occasions, but too often the advantage has been too big to the opposition, and there's a mistake by the Lightning.
I think sometimes too, Matt, that Coach Megan Anderson has been a bit reluctant to rotate her players. She's stuck with the same 7, and rightly so, because they've been very strong. But I think that there's been moments where she could have brought her bench players on just to rotate the legs and rest the legs a little bit.
Yeah, Megan Anderson, a former Diamond in her second year as Firebirds coach, and Danelle Wallen in her first year of Suncorp Super Netball. At the Team Girls Cup pre-season, we wondered what role, would there be a role for her at all? Well, what a role she's playing away into the Diamonds Commonwealth Games squad. Here's Boetta. And while we're speaking Commonwealth Games squad, Sharon, you go Cara Conan, Steph Wood, shooters for the Sunshine Coast, over to Gretel Boetta, Danelle Wallen, shooters for the Firebirds. There's your front court for the Diamonds. There's the selection pool, so to speak.
And absolutely, and you know, when you talk about what do the Lightning still have left to play for, well, there's still Diamonds selections up for grabs. So Coach Stacey Mirenkovic is going to be sitting watching the performances that are still to come over the next 4 rounds. So there's still a lot to play for, especially for the Diamonds players.
So they want to hold possession better than they did there. A couple of mistakes creeping in for Lightning in this first quarter. Trevelyan, Huerta. There's an audacious pass. It looks spectacular.
Well, she changed her angle of the pass in mid-air, didn't she? Because she could see that Dehaney had changed her angle on Wallen. So well done, Gretel Buetta.
Clara Dunkley finds Buetta again. And Rebellion called by Wallen, who takes the pass. Tried to go short and low for Buetta, but the pass was misguided, and now they turn it over.
I'd really love to see Danelle put those shots up. She's quite capable of shooting from anywhere in the circle.
These teams head-to-head for the first time since round 2, where there was a record score at the time by the Firebirds, 82-59. What a margin. The Lightning would love revenge.
I was just about to say that. They would love to be able to beat the Firebirds and reciprocate what the Firebirds did for them up in their home court.
Well, given the rivalry, they want to win all the time, but surely it is heated and heightened given that result. 82-59 back in round 2.
And there is that passion, isn't there? And as we spoke about in pre-game commentary, that there's 6 players who have been through the Firebirds system before that are now playing for the Lightning. So you wonder what kind of, I guess, mixed emotions they may have. Or, you know, I think you just move on as a player and now you're representing Sunshine Coast. So that's what they're here to do.
A third turnover by the Lightning, and Danelle Wallen capitalises. That was slick play from the Firebirds, Laura.
Interesting, Matt, to sit here and watch what's happening in the attack line for the Lightning. Some really early uncharacteristic errors from, in particular, some experienced players like Steph Wood, and just misunderstanding. We speak so much about their connection and their combination and that understanding of one another, but we've just seen quite a few balls being spilled left, right and centre. And probably one thing that I would say is just the eyes down and that real kind of, I suppose, connection between them when something bad happens. Oh, Gabby Simpson, she gets pulled back. Just that connection between this forward line down here. They're quick to put their eyes down and just not have that eye contact with one another. And I'd also say in defence, the Firebirds defenders, we were critical of their performance last week on the Thunderbirds and not winning enough ball, but already we've seen, in particular, Simpson and Bakewell-Doran get tips and touches. So it's clear that they've gone away in those last few days and just really been aware that they've got to do some more work defensively to win some balls.
Well, Dunkley's pass had Wallen at full stretch, and that was enough to take the pass, score the goal. 8-5, Queensland over the Sunshine Coast. There's Conan looking for Wood. The Lightning on this 4-game losing streak, most recently by 1 goal against the Swifts. A result that ended their finals hopes. Wood, a long shot that catches the rim and drops for her. Still 3 minutes from the power 5. Dunkley to Buetta. No problem for Gretel.
I'd really love to see Gretel Buetta look to the circle first, as on occasion she'll look straight to the pockets and sometimes the move is already there from Wallen, so I'd really love to see her look straight in.
So Rebellion called off Sherian, who feeds Conan, and they're back to 1 the difference. Kara yet to miss. Same with Wood. Bakewell-Doran in only her 2nd season with the Firebirds, having an eye-catching season. As Wood, again, with a bit of distance in the shot, finds the bottom of the net. Miller and Wood with Sherian involved as well. Here's the possession game that Laura Geitz was talking about pre-game. In fact, let's go to Laura. Are you seeing enough of that possession? You wanted them to use the ball a bit more than they had been, Laura.
Oh, Matt, you nearly caught me stealing some lollies from the lolly jar over here on the sideline. Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. That is exactly the possession game that the Lightning have played. And a timeout. I've got the feeling this game is going to be a very close one.
Well, it is at the moment. The Firebirds out by 3 at one stage. The Lightning a mini run. Megan Anderson about to address the Firebirds.
Yeah, great. When your front cut's working really well. We just need to notice now if they're going to go into a box or a split circle. Now, if they're in a box or a split circle, you might need to start up a bit higher. Or remember, just pick that one person so that you've got that back space. Yep. But it just means that you still need to come in that front pass. Or if you're going in phase, you need to punch middle. Yep. So keep taking that drive down. Clear your space and get down to it. We just need to break the quick 1-2 connection, go, take a step and then go back again. Just so to have that. Really awesome, keep connected, alright? Up it,
Well, Sharon Finnan-White, you've been part of plenty of Firebirds huddles over your time. What did you make of that one right there?
Well, Coach Megan Anderson was talking to Gretel Buetta, saying that if the Lightning are doing that box or split circle, she wants her to start a little bit higher. And I agree with that. In defence, we heard Claire Ferguson talking to the defenders there, just saying they want to break that 1-2 connection. So that second phase down onto the circle edge is just coming down a little bit too quick, and they need to break that.
So contact invites Steph Wood a little closer. She scores. Laura Geitz, what was said in the Lightning huddle?
Yeah, the Lightning huddle, interesting. We saw a change. Annie Miller started the game at wing attack, but now we see Laura Sherian back into that position, and Maddie Hinchliffe has come onto the court in centre. Now on the bench as we speak, Carly Byrne just spending a little bit of time with Annie Miller. She got the whiteboard out and was drawing a few little pictures. So I expect to see Annie Miller just maybe sit back, have a look what's being played out in front of her, and then to maybe go back out on court. It was interesting though, Lightning just with the momentum I felt and a change that has come, and that's something we obviously spoke about in that pre-match, is Carly Byrne not afraid to make those changes.
You see the Lightning shooting at 100%, the same for the Firebirds, led by Donnell Wallam, who tries to go 7 of 7 and does. So about to hit the power 5 in this first quarter. Both teams looking to stop a losing streak. The Firebirds 3 straight, Lightning 4 straight. So Steph Wood, does she drop the first 2-point goal? It jumps out. Cara Conan with the rebound despite the presence of Bakewell-Doran and then Yasuro Brown, and Cara looks like she likes that.
Well, Bakewell-Doran was really unlucky to get that rebound. She really needed to just pull that in with 2 hands and it would have been hers.
Buetta, a Suncorp super shot, so the first 2 miss. And from closer, Donnell Wallam. A miss by Woods, followed by the miss by Buetta. And still they go up by 1. Yasuro Brown, in fact, Bakewell-Doran.
Just watching Yasuro Brown's footwork on Cara Conan there over that last 3 to 4 seconds, she was just riding her every step of the way, and that's exactly what she needs to do for 4 quarters if she's going to shut Cara Conan down, particularly on that baseline drive.
So Dunkley gets to go again. Puts it in the air, and Wallam can't retrieve. It's cleaned up by Tippett in conjunction with Ravalian, and Buetta, in fact, knocks it down for Wallam. Maddie Hinchliffe. Sherian to Wood. Hinchcliffe again. They're happy to move the ball. Lightning. Baseball Doran called out of play. And Steph Wood for the first 2-point goal of the game. The super shot. It's up and running. $100. Thanks to Suncorp, into the Confident Girls Foundation, keeping girls playing netball for as long as possible. And don't we like that? Future Suncorp Super Netballers. The lofted pass beating Tara Hinchcliffe and Danelle Wallen.
Well, she's got her radar on today, hasn't she, Matt? Let's see if she can maintain that over the next 4 quarters. She loves that super shot.
Last round, she was 19 of 23, missed all 3 shots at the super goal. So she's due, because she has shown great effectiveness from range. And Cara Conan, great effectiveness at the offensive rebound, getting her own missed shot back.
Lara Dunkley having a lot of trouble getting off the line there. She was double teamed. It's a great backup from the defenders, bringing that ball off that centre pass.
Mahalia Cassidy penalised, but giving the mid-court of the Firebirds food for thought. Wallen scores again. Here's Sherian. Nice pass for Conan. And Wood says, let's go for 2 more. She can go again, Steph Wood. And this time, it's nothing but net.
Well, we talked about Steph Wood being the barometer for her team, and she's certainly standing up, playing that real captain's role early on. Really good to see.
2 of 3 from super shot territory. Bueta. Rebellion finds Bueta. Plenty of whistle in the first quarter. Sharon, what are you making of some of the calls?
Plenty of whistle. I'd like to see actually the stats on the defenders. Just have a quick look at that in a minute. But I think the defenders are just going to have to adjust to the whistle, because there's nothing you can do about what the umpire says goes. So I think yeah, the defenders just need to come off the body a little bit and just adjust.
Wood and Sherian combined. They're out by 3, the Lightning. So a better first quarter than we've seen from the many games this season. Cara Conan applauds a 4-goal advantage.
So just looking at that penalty count, Matt, Mahalia Cassidy on 4, Tara Hinchcliffe on 2, and Katie Haney on 3.
There's the run of goals. Plenty of Lightning icons showing up there as we hit the end of the first quarter. When they met in round 2, the Lightning didn't win a term. Well, they've exploded out of the blocks here by winning the first quarter, 19-15. A big crowd at Nissan Arena for the Battle of the Bruce, the second edition in Suncorp Super Netball Season 22. We're back with the second right after this.
Welcome back to Nissan Arena, where the Lightning have a 4-goal advantage over the Queensland Firebirds. Listening into the Firebirds huddle, coach Megan Anderson in attack, the direction was to give the ball quickly, turn and deliver, use your fakes in defence. Claire Ferguson, the defensive coach, basically just wants to stand or get Ebony Azuro-Brown to push Cara Conan up out of the circle. Back to you, Sharon.
Yeah, we're just listening to Kylie Byrne, Laura. She spent a lot of time talking to Steph Wood and Laura Sherian about their connection, and she wants to see a lot more short and sharp double plays between the 2 of them to get to circle edge. She spoke with Cara Conan about her holding at the top of the circle, and you're right, they are keeping her at the top of the circle, which is what they've been asked to do. But that really exposes that baseline drive for Steph Wood to come along and take up that space.
Laura Guy, Sharon Finnan-White, you've brought us the Origin Energy quarter time superbly. Let's see what adjustments are made in the second term and what the Firebirds can do to eat into this 4-goal deficit. Here's Danelle Wallen, fed by Rebellion, and scoring the first goal after quarter time. Danelle Wallen, 12 of 12, including 1 super shot. Tara Hinchcliffe finds her twin, Maddie. Now Wood to Conan. Wood always involved. Conan again, the recipient. And Kara makes it 11 of 13 for the game. There's some stats out of quarter time, Sharon. The penalties, 24 called against the Firebirds to 11. The Lightning, that's a lot of whistle, especially against the Firebirds in that first period.
Yeah, it sure is a lot of penalties for 1 quarter of netball. As we see Wallen just flick the ball back into court there. But look, as I said earlier, it's really about adjusting to the umpire. Each umpire is going to be different up each end, so maybe, you know, coming to a different end, they may have a little bit more leeway.
At that rate, they'd be out of play 96 times for the game.
That's right, and you want them to be in the play. Standing out of play doesn't do your team any good, so it's about deciding whether you're going to commit to having a go at the ball or just stepping back and then picking up that second phase.
A Harvey Norman replay showing another element of Donnell Wallam's game. Conan, nice long pass for Conan. There's Wood passing, Conan receiving, and there are their shooting stats.
I have a feeling we may see Kim Jenner enter the court very soon. That ball's going in far too easy to Kara Conan. We saw Kim Jenner come on last time and she was quite effective. You know, just also that height that she offers, different style of play. That might be able to shut Kara down.
24-year-old from your neck of the woods, Townsville, Kim Jenner.
She sure is. She grew up on Magnetic Island and travelled across on the ferry to training 2-3 times a week, as you do when you live on Magnetic Island. But it's a beautiful part of the world up there.
I know it's a beautiful place. I was married on Magnetic Island.
There you go. We go over there, you know, every couple of weekends as well for a bit of a getaway.
Kim Jenner hoping to get on in game 66. Let's see if that unfolds as Maddie Hinchcliffe goes to Steph Wood. Now Mahalia Cassidy. So this possession game. Look at the ball movement. Here's Sherian. Cross court, there's Wood all alone. And there is the reward, another goal to Wood.
This is where we talked about Firebirds needing to win ball. The scoreline's starting to creep out now, and this is where we really need everyone, not just the circle defenders, but everybody to win some ball back.
Well, there's Tara Hinchcliffe winning some ball from Donnell Wallam. Cassidy to Conan, Wood, looking for Sherian, who has to get on her bike and can't. So the pass beats Sherian, and they turn it over. When these teams met in round 2, the Firebirds won every quarter, and some of the stats with real domination. As Wallam receiving the pass from Bueta, intercepts to the Firebirds in round 2, 7-3. Deflections, 28-11. Gains, 16-7. That's why they were beaten by 23 points. Conan.
And again, just way too easy coming into Conan. She's very dangerous, Kara Conan, in that circle, in that area where she takes the ball on that baseline. So they're really going to have to try a different tactic.
And not for the first time. She grabs an offensive rebound. Laura Geitz, over to you as Gretel Bueta sinks one for the Firebirds.
Yeah, well, I just want to speak about that lady herself, Gretel Bueta. That shot just takes her to 3 from 3 shots. So uncharacteristic from Gretel Bueta. We're used to seeing her with a little bit more supply. If you compare that to the other lady down the court, Stephanie Wood, in the same position, she's sitting 6 from 6 at 100%, 2 from 3 on the super shot. So Gretel Bueta just not taking as many shots as what we are used to seeing. So in defence for the Lightning, that means the pressure is solely on Wallam at the moment, and we are seeing her just spill a little bit of extra ball like that exact moment. So whether the Firebirds in attack can look to really share that load a little bit more and split those Lightning defenders. Interesting to get your thoughts, Sharon.
Yeah, look, you're right, Laura. And I'd also like to see Donnell Wallam just pull the ball in a little bit as well. She's fumbled the last couple of balls that have come in. But you're right, they really need to split the defenders. And Donnell is really taking most of the workload in those shots. But we know Gretel's very capable of shooting as well.
Sunshine Coast keep possession. Maddie Hinchcliffe for Wood. Bakewell Doran penalised, and Wood scores the goal. So possession back to the Firebirds, and yeah, Gretel Boeta mentioned her lack of shots today. On Wednesday night in that loss to the Thunderbirds, she was 27 of 29. So to have only 3 early minutes of this second quarter illustrates the difference. An HCF tactical timeout. Megan Anderson.
Not allow the quick back, yeah, that's 10 times in a row. Or if you're doing a box, that you've got to then attack that next movement, so acknowledging that it's going to be a tight line, sit higher.
I forgot to have that start on the box, all on the same page.
Yeah.
And then we're going to one-on-one.
Yeah. So let's make sure though that it's going to be, once we run it, I think that you need to make sure that where you're coming to is like sitting top and do this side a little bit.
Will you leave the centre?
Yeah,
Outside?
yeah, because you can attack that whole back.
Yeah, okay.
Stop here.
Starting on the box, so you're coming down. That's right. Keep it coming.
Well, the Lightning have the biggest lead of the game at the moment. 7 goals. Timeout called by Megan Anderson.
Yeah, she was talking to her defenders, as we saw there on the screen there. She was talking about the defenders setting up, either do one-on-one, hands over, or maybe sit back into that box defence, where it means that the defenders drop back into that just top of the circle and just clogs up that circle so that they can't get to circle edge too easy.
Here's Bakewell Doran for Boeta. Looking for Wallum. Instead, it's the reach of Katie Haney. Great intercept. The Jamaican Sunshine Girl involved heavily in this possession. Conan leaves it for Wood. He makes it an aerial battle, and the attempted layup from Conan results in her first miss of the quarter.
Well, it was good pressure from Bakewell Doran to actually get Conan off balance and have to, force the ball back into a layup kind of style of a shot. So good work to Ruby.
The defenders, I should say Vicky Wilson, the attacking coach, talked to the defenders, and Kylie Byrne took the attackers. So interesting just to see that dynamic mixed up, which I think is really, really good. Just when you're hearing from the same coach the entire time, it can sometimes just be refreshing to hear an attacker's point of view on defensively what's happening. But all very, very happy in the Lightning camp.
And Laura, this 8-goal lead to the Lightning comes despite the fact that Kate Walsh hasn't played yet. She's second in the league for blocks, a fantastic defender, returning from COVID. I wonder when/if we'll see Kate today.
Well, look, you would have to say, Matt, that Kylie Byrne would be sticking with this defensive unit. They are outstanding. They were outstanding last week against Swifts, and they just seem to be picking up exactly where they took off. And Katie Haney having a huge impact in this game. She's got 1 intercept, only 3 penalties to her name, but just doing such a smart job at her positioning on Wallum and confusing the space for the feeders as to where to put the ball. So I wouldn't be expecting to see any changes down in this defensive end anytime soon for the Lightning.
I agree with you, Laura. Dehaney's doing a really good job, but it's the job of the Firebirds circle, the feeders, to be able to recognise that and to maybe reset, go back to the line and then look for an opening. I think at the moment they're just trying to force that ball in, and the space just isn't there.
Katie Haney, just a little too much effort on that one. And she gives Gretel Boeta that goal. Laura, guys, back to the topic pre-game. We talked about the possession game for the Lightning. 62% of the ball in favour of the visitors so far. It's exactly what you called for.
Let's head to a HCF timeout just to hear what the Lightning have to say.
But I reckon they're in a good position to take it. Just take us somewhere first, rather than the ball leading and then just run.
Come in.
movement somewhere. Come on, guys, let's finish. What we're doing defensively is great. We're building that pressure, just finishing it off, and that's where we want to build our lead. Just punish, scoreboard pressure. I reckon that's right. The person that's like tight on the ball, they're going to come off to the other one, and that's when they're hitting. All right, we got out of this timeout. Let's go. 1, 2.
The Lightning with this 7-goal lead. They might be sitting last on the ladder, but as we talked about, they're here to cause as much trouble as possible in the run to the finals so they can effectively knock their Queensland sisters out of the race with victory here, Sharon.
Yeah, they certainly look like they're about to do that at the moment, don't they? Firebirds really need to find some answers here for this strong lineup that the Lightning have put out today. Just listening to their coach talk about, their captain, I should say, talk about defensive pressure. She's really happy with her team's defensive pressure at the moment.
Laura Knight, 60% of the possession with the Lightning.
Yeah, it was interesting just to listen into the Firebirds huddle there, Matt. They were really happy with some of the work that was happening, but in attack, they want some more depth and they want them to take the cuts, which is why I believe we see Macy Gardner taking the court at WA. Lara Dunkley heading to the bench. Just a little bit of trivia on Macy Gardner. She is the daughter of former Firebirds coach Rosalie Janke. So there's athleticism and talent running through the veins of that young girl, and such a promising athlete. She's fast, but what I love most about her is her tenacity. She gets in and has such a crack. She's got the most incredible competitive spirit. So keep your eye on her and see if she can shake things up in this Firebirds attack line.
And Laura, given that Macy was born in 2000 and that you played under Rosalie, I imagine you would have seen a young Macy Gardner running around at training.
Do you know what? I actually don't want to disclose too much information because that makes me feel exceptionally old, Matt. But Macy Gardner, I remember when I was down at the AIS in Canberra back in 2005, 2006, Macy Gardner was like a little tyke coming along to the training sessions as Rosalie Janke was the assistant coach down there for AIS. So it does make me feel exceptionally old, but also feel like a proud mother duck to see her coming through the ranks and doing so well.
And here she is on cue again, passing for Danelle Wallen. There's contact with Katie Andahaney. Wallen knows it's all part of the contest, nothing malicious about it. But Danelle passes for Gretel Bueta, who had another goal. A big crowd at Nissan Arena. They're liking this. A fantastic atmosphere, Sharon.
It is a fantastic atmosphere. It actually looks like most of the seats have been filled up since we, first started the first quarter. So, yeah, they're really getting into it.
Tara Hinchliffe looking for Ward instead. It's picked up by Ruby Bakewell-Doran. Bueta, Rebellion.
Thread the needle with that one, Bueta.
Beautiful pass. Likewise to Wallen. That's the Firebirds at their best. Can they build a bit of momentum? Yeah, plenty of turnovers by the Firebirds. That's one area for improvement, definitely in the second half, as we hit super shot territory. The power five. The Firebirds didn't get to a shot. A bit ragged at the end. Sherian looking for Cassidy.
Firebirds really need to capitalise on any turnovers that they get in defence and really score those goals.
Karakonen. General play turnovers, 11-7 against the Firebirds. Unforced 10-6 against the Firebirds. They need to apply that sort of heat to the Lightning and convert. There's one.
We talked about Kim Rebellion and the captain's role that she needs to play. She needs to lead out there, set the example, lift her team.
Danelle Wallen drops her second Suncorp super shot. Another $100 to the Confident Girls Foundation. Gardner, a bit optimistic with that ball, looking for Kim Rebellion. A bullet pass cross court, just over the top of her centre. Katie Andahaney bailed out by Mahalia Cassidy. Maybe Katie Ann knew what she was doing all along.
Oh, we could see that one coming a mile away. She read that beautifully, Ruby Bakewell-Doran. They really need to score from this. This is the only way they're going to be able to catch up on the scoreboard is by great pass.
Their third intercept of the game, Bakewell-Doran. They score from the turnover. Look at that. Athletic. The 23-year-old Nova Castrian in her second season as a Firebird, her second season of Suncorp Super Netball. Game number 14 for Ruby. She came into this game top 5 in the league for intercepts with 16. You can add 3 to that tally. Cara Conan grabs another rebound.
One of her strengths under the post there. Not that she misses that often, but when she does, she's normally there for her rebound.
Wallen runs into the super shot range, can't convert, and it's swatted away by Dehaney. And Maddie Hinchliffe. Easy to call there. Ruby Bakewell-Doran penalised, and Steph Wood. Will she shoot for 2? There's the answer. Never looked like missing. She's 3 from 4 with the 2-point goal. Sherian sits it up the top for Conan. The defence thought it was going short to Steph Wood.
They did, and that's the thing. When in doubt, you just pop it up and you know Cara's going to get it. So
likewise, Bueda and
likewise
Wallen.
at the other end as well. Pop it up and Janelle will normally get it.
Now, Hinchliffe. Wood finds Conan, and it's goal for goal at the moment.
Firebirds have just let that little run that they had slip away with some errors.
Firebirds have scored 3 of the last 4. Sarah Brown called out of play. It's still 8 goals the advantage. Trimmed now to 7. It's been around that margin for most of the second quarter. 19-15 in favour of the Lightning in the opening term. 15-11 so far in the second. Remembering they didn't win a quarter when these teams met in round 2, and Steph Wood, speaking of 2, it's a Suncorp super shot, and she's now 4 of 5 from that range.
Just the one for the Firebirds, but they're going to be looking for the 2, I'm sure, in the next quarter.
They try and set Wood up here again to go from distance. 17 seconds left. Steph Wood with the miss. We'd built her up, we'd set her up. She was 4 of 5, it becomes 4 of 6. Is there time here for the Firebirds? Gretel Bueta, there is. But it's an air ball. What a miss from Gretel Bueta. Straight over the top of the hoop. She wears a smile because, like the rest of us, she can't believe it. A miss that sort of sums up the Firebirds' first half. A long way from their best. Not perfect. They're close enough if they're good enough, though. 36-28 at half-time. Thank you, Bianca. Thank you, Caitlin. We're off to John Cain Arena after the second half here. Megan Anderson, the Queensland Firebirds coach. The team looked a little nervous, a little edgy at times in the first half. Is that a fair assessment?
Oh, no, I think we're looking pretty good. I think we're just letting ourselves down in our execution in attack at times. I think our defenders are doing a great job in turning over a bit of ball, and we just need to treasure it. And,
I agree with you, Megan. Yeah, I was just, your defenders are doing really well. It just seems the feeds going into the shooters are a little bit off today.
Yeah, there's a couple of silly errors like steps and all of that sort of thing. So we just need to take that stuff out of our game and push on hard and finish off the second half.
Thank you, Megan. Still 2 quarters to make those corrections and stay on this finals path. Good luck.
Thank you.
Kim Revalian with the centre pass. They are 4 and 6 the Firebirds. A win here, 5 and 6, keeps them in the finals journey, in the race. Otherwise, they'll have the same record as the Lightning, and the Queensland teams will be the first to crash out of the reckoning. In Suncorp Super Netball 22, Gretel Bueta scores first after half-time.
Just in the half-time break there, Matt, we saw Mahalia Cassidy go over to the physio to get some attention. Not 100% sure what it is she was looking, what was wrong. So we'll just see how she plays out the next two halves, two quarters.
Get to Laura Geit shortly, who may have some information on Mahalia Cassidy for us, but for the time being, it's Gretel Bueta. And Macy Gardner called into the game midway through that first half. The pass from Bueta. Wallen makes it look perfect and then scores on the end of it. 37-30. Wallen, 21 from 22. Zero Brown doesn't like that call. As we touched on, plenty of whistle against the Firebirds in the first half, and that's an easy one. Steph Wood scores. Laura Geitz, over to you.
Yeah, nothing too significantly wrong with Mahalia Cassidy, just those tired legs. We've spoken about it so much. Tuesday, Wednesday night matches, in particular the Firebirds have been on the road. Melbourne, Tasmania, back to Adelaide, back to Brisbane. Their last match was Wednesday night. Now they're playing today. The Lightning have had a little bit of an easier run at home for the last two games, but there are some really, really tired legs out there. So expect to see a few cramps, and the physios having to work a little bit harder today. But I just wanted to also make mention, the Firebirds captain Kim Ravelli and Ebony Azuro-Brown went up to the umpires in that halftime chat and just wanted some clarification on the penalty count, what they were getting called for. So maybe just see that game tidying up a little bit more from the Firebirds.
Yeah, the penalty count now 40-24 against the Firebirds. That's why they were quizzing the umpires, hoping for a fair split, or a more equal split, I should say, in the second half. Here's Steph Wood, mid-range. Easy, says Steph.
Macy Gardner's doing a great job getting off that line for that first phase and second phase. Circle edge. Well done to the youngster.
Wallen's been made to work hard for her last couple of receives.
Yeah, she sure has. And look, this is exactly what she needs going into the Diamonds camp as well. You know, she's up against a Jamaican international right now. We saw her up against Katie Ann Dehaney at the Team Girls Cup. Matt, you and I were there commentating that, and we were really impressed with how Danelle was standing up against Katie Ann.
And it was the Team Girls Cup that really, you go back at the end of her career and say, well, that might have made her career. It was the performance there that led to her being signed to a full contract by the Firebirds.
Absolutely, and that's the thing, when you get your opportunities, you to grab them with both hands. We know that she hasn't come through the traditional pathway like our other girls have, so, you know, she just grabbed this opportunity and run with it.
Snap from Leeds into the Suncorp Super Netball system. Likewise for Dan Ryan at the Fever, who will lead his West Coast team into battle against the Giants tomorrow on Fox Netball, followed by Magpies Thunderbirds. So another great round. After we're done here, off to John Cain Arena, Vixens, Swifts. The Sergeant McInnes Trophy up for grabs. Cara Conan. Sherry Underwood, quickly to Conan. Sherry uses the aerial route. Conan obliges, and Usoro Brown will watch Conan score again.
Yeah, it was a good challenge from Bakewell Doran there. It was just a perfect feed going into Conan, which is just a little bit too difficult to get.
22 of 26 at 85%, Cara Conan. Laura, over to you.
About Ebony Azuro-Brown onto Cara Conan. We just see down there another win for the Lightning. They are well and truly up and about. I think there needs to be a change down in this defensive end for the Firebirds. At the moment, Cara Conan's doing whatever she wants to do. She's getting front position on Ebony Azuro-Brown. Ebony Azuro-Brown plays a good, strong game on a holding shooter. Cara Conan can be a holding shooter, but she's worked out that her moving game is combating Ebony Azuro-Brown today. On the first movement, if she's not getting ball in shooting range, on the second movement, Ebony Azuro-Brown gets called out of play for the penalty. So I feel like a Kimberly Jenner might be a better option. You can just see there, Ebony Azuro out of play again. I feel like there needs to be a change there because it's just happening on every single pass, centre pass, every conversion for the Lightning.
I agree, Laura. And look, the other option is that they play a positional switch in the circle where Azuro-Brown actually picks up onto Steph Wood and Bakewell-Doran goes back onto Conan.
And Laura, what did you make of Megan Anderson after half-time, saying that she was relatively happy with the first half, that they didn't look nervous or rattled?
You're throwing me under the bus, aren't you, Matt? I'm sitting there at halftime saying, oh, give the girls a dressing down, deliver some hard feedback. But here, I believe
Sit fifth again right now, and they need to win here to keep this finals dream alive. They were finalists in 2018 when they ran third, but apart from that, it's either been eighth or near misses each time. Ravalian and Gardner in that wing attack position off the bench for Anderson. And an offensive penalty for the Firebirds.
I don't really know whether it's worthwhile saying, but I just had a little one-on-one chat with Cara Conan and said, give me the insight, what's the game plan? And she said, make it up as you go. So maybe we should just leave that.
Now Cara Conan.
Well, you're right about the change, Laura. We see Kimberly Jenner come on to goalkeeper. We know that that is what needed to happen.
So the quarter scores so far, 19-15 in the first, 17-13 in the second, and it's 8-4 to the Lightning, make it 9-4 as this lead starts to get away on the Firebirds, 46-32.
I'm not 100% convinced that the one-on-one defence is working across the court for the Firebirds. You know, we've seen them set up the box defence and the diamond, or, you know, the mid-court zone defence. It's just maybe something they need to switch back to just to slow this Lightning attack down. It's just coming down too fast.
Look at that. Speed for Cara Conan. They like this. The Sunshine Coast Lightning, who've lost their last 4 games against the Giants, the Thunderbirds, the Fever and the Swifts, and were beaten by the Firebirds earlier this season, 82-59. So to this point, what a turnaround in the Battle of the Bruce, the South East Queensland derby. Jenner out there going through Bakewell-Doran, Simpson, Bueta, and now Stower. So multiple changes from Megan Anderson. Bueta scores, and Laura Geitz, you predicted those changes.
Coming to Matt, Kate Walsh is standing to the left of me, ready to come on court with the goalkeeper bib on. So the change has been made for the Firebirds in that moving circle. Kylie Byrne taking no time to react. So Kate Walsh, I thought she was coming on, or she is. She's looking to come on and just move through that moving circle, but a little momentum patch here for the Firebirds. This is where they just need to start pulling them back, because there's a bit of confusion from the umpire and some of the Firebirds players here. But a little strong patch from the Firebirds. This is where they need to capitalise.
Conan to Sherian. And Steph Wood just wants to keep scoring here to keep the pressure on the Firebirds. Jenner and Stour out there. Puerta goes again, successfully.
I've been quite impressed with Stour, actually. When she's come on, she's really made an impact. She's a super shot specialist as well, but she just moves beautifully and connects really nicely with Buetta.
She was 3 of 5 super shots in the midweek round. Product of Toowoomba, a 22-year-old playing Suncorp Super Netball game number 10. Having made her debut in 2020.
Little 1-2 there between Kim Revillion and Gretel Buetta.
He gets it back now. Stour. 1-2 with Gardner. Stour looking for her second goal of the game. It bounces out, she gets the rebounds, and that is good.
That was a strong rebound from Stour.
Can they force some turnovers? Hinchliffe to Conan. So Cara Conan having quite the game, 29 of 34. We are into the power 5 now. Buetta says one will do for the time being. It's 11 the difference at Nissan Arena.
You can see now how that circle, Firebird circle's really opened up, having 2 moving shooters, and that's probably exactly what they needed, to just have that space in the circle.
Ooh, deflection there from the Firebirds, but it falls for Sherian. Wood makes the most of the penalty against the Firebirds. Kylie Byrne willing her team on. It's been a lean trot. Kate Walsh out there to deliver a few of those blocks to win possession and shake up this moving circle. Stour.
Unlucky.
A fight for the rebound, which she gets.
That's her second rebound in as many goals.
And both of them requiring a bit of strength and determination.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Here's a result for the Firebirds.
Here we go.
The crowd sensing the most minute bit of momentum and trying to will it on. Stour can't drop the super shot. And Steph Wood.
Mahalia Cassidy, she just drives that ball, just like a Gabby Simpson, both in that wing defence position. So crucial.
Wood checks the feet. And with no scoreboard pressure, says, let's take the high percentage shot through our high percentage shooter. 85% so far for Cara Conan.
Nice triangle feed there to find Stour at the top of the circle. And this is exactly what she did when she came on last game. She just really lifted the team with those shots.
So it's 10 the difference with the best part of 3 minutes left in the third.
That's Jenner. Oh, bad luck.
Kicks it in, but only for Steph Wood. Bakewell Doran trying hard against Conan, but the pass was too good from Wood.
Bakewell Doran did a great job of closing down that baseline that Cara Conan, really loves to drive to. She did a great job. It was just that last feed going in.
Kate Walsh, a deflection, she picks up, and here come the Lightning again. Missing net points being led by the 2 Lightning shooters. Steph Wood, 59. Cara Conan, 58. Laura Geitz, your thoughts, please.
Well, it's an interesting little period here in the third quarter, isn't it? Lightning leading at 17 to 14. I like the defensive structure. Kylie Byrne and Vicky Wilson out of their seats, just shaking their heads, not liking that call very much at all. But the turnovers are coming from the Firebirds, so they're winning ball, they're bringing it down successfully, and they are converting it. So they've just got to stay in the game. But the Lightning are just playing such a clinical, free-flowing game of netball. It's just looking so easy. Incredible performance from them today, but probably the one thing that they'll be going away from today's match, if they are successful, asking themselves where this style of play was all season.
Yeah, just the 3 wins so far for Lightning. 4 to the Firebirds, who are clinging to their finals hopes. Gretel Boetta for a big 2. Over the top of the goal, and they win it back.
Talk about backing your teammates up. That was unbelievable.
Gardner to Boetta. So 11 the difference. Do they look for the Suncorp super shot here? Stour puts herself in position and bangs the 2 down.
That's exactly what they needed.
The Lightning's biggest lead of the game was 14. It's 9 the difference now. A scramble for possession, and Steph Wood's hurt her knee.
Well, we're hoping that that's nothing too serious. She looks in a little bit of discomfort, well, a lot of discomfort actually.
Diamond squad member falling awkwardly on the knee. Just trying to walk it out. Good to see some concern from Ruby Bakewell-Doran.
Looks like she's going to come off.
So Riley Batcheldor on for the last 33 seconds of the third quarter.
Look out for a super shot, Matt.
We've been talking about Mia Stour's super shot efficiency. Well, Riley Batcheldor certainly filling that role as well. They don't need them at the moment.
No, just take the one. Oh, beautiful ball, Gabby Simpson.
That's fantastic netball from the Firebirds. That is pretty to watch. The Firebirds at their best. As the bench wills them on.
Big Jenna. That's what she was brought on for.
Only seconds left in the third. They need to get the shot away. They need to hit the net before time expires, and they won't. Time beats them in the third, but they've got it back to a single-figure margin. At the third quarter, Cara Conan willing her team on. The Firebirds, their finals hopes on the line. It's 54-45 with 1 to play at Nissan Arena.
Well, welcome back to Nissan Arena. A little bit of a scare for the Lightning camp in that third quarter with Steph Wood going down with what looked like a knee injury, but I can confirm for all the Lightning fans, she is A-OK. She's just jarred that right knee, which she's had a little bit of trouble with in the past. So we will be seeing Steph Wood back out on court at some stage. An outstanding performance so far from the Sunshine Coast Lightning. What will the Firebirds do in this final quarter to keep their season alive?
Well, Laura, that's great news about Steph Wood. Great to see her back out on court. Well, I can tell you what they're going to do. Just listening into Megan Anderson during the break, she actually wants the shooters to be able to get the defenders' heads turning, and they were doing that really well leading into that last quarter. So just get their heads turning, long court, hold up the timing a little bit so the attackers aren't coming up too high. The defenders are bringing the ball down nicely. On the super shot, she wants them to have a fly at it.
Three-quarter time, thanks to Origin Energy. Thank you, ladies. Great news for Lightning fans. Great news for Diamonds fans that Steph Wood and that knee jar isn't a significant injury. There's Boetta, Revellion, and Stour who look to build a fourth-quarter comeback here to make it 2 wins against the Lightning this season. Boetta scores first in the fourth, but there's much work to do. Lightning 54. Firebirds 46. Biggest lead of the game, 14 to Sunshine Coast. But the stats are starting to balance. Possession, which was heavily in favour of the Lightning. Still advantage Lightning, but not to the same extent it was earlier on. And the turnovers also levelling out as this game goes on. Cara Conan and the Lightning will enjoy the fact they're not under the scoreboard pressure. They have been so often during this 4-game losing streak.
Absolutely, Matt. And it just changes the style of play when you're under that pressure to have to get goals and to have to claw your way back. So they're just playing with so much freedom, aren't they?
Riley Batcheldor forces a turnover on the Firebirds. She knows the play. Put it in the air for Cara Conan. And they're happy to go goal for goal.
And that's been their strength all season, really, having Conan there, just being able to take that high ball.
She, like a host of Lightning players, have been forced to miss, or has been forced to miss games this season, and they sorely missed her. Here she is scoring again.
Currently shooting 34 from 39 at 87%, Cara Conan.
Firebirds get it wrong again. Lightning. The last 3 goals scored by the Lightning. Cara Conan keeps the ball alive, so you can make it 4 straight to the Lightning as they get away again by more than 10. Just repeating what we said pre-game about the number of Lightning players who have been part of the Firebird setup. The Hinchliffe sisters, Kate Walsh, Mahalia Cassidy, Laura Sherian, Riley Batcheldor. They'd love revenge against their former club after being beaten 82-59 in round 2. Batcheldor scores out by 13, and there are less than 13 minutes to play. Wetter beats the big swat, the swing from Kate Walsh. And she breaks that run of goals. 5 of them to the Lightning.
And there's other options for Firebirds in terms of Biwetta also going back to shooter. We've seen her play shooter for the Diamonds. We know how well she went back in that position. So, you know, she does a hell of a lot of work out front, a lot of running. So maybe if she went back into that shooter position, it might just sort of settle things down a little bit and have Stour running out front at goal attack.
So Buetta goals for the Firebirds. I thought it was almost timeout territory for Megan Anderson there, Laura Geitz.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? The Firebirds, they just come up with a win there. The Firebirds have put themselves in a really difficult position in this last quarter where they really have to look at the super shot as their only option to get back in the game. That puts so much pressure on themselves. So really, if they're going to break this quarter down, they need to make sure the first 10 minutes is about winning and converting opportunity. But it just seems so much fumbling and ball handling skills, which is a little bit uncharacteristic of the Firebirds, and missed shots as well. So putting a lot of pressure on themselves, and the Lightning, on the other foot, are just looking like they are just playing with so much freedom and finesse. It's just a bit of a clinic for them, really, when we've got no transition of Riley Batcheldor coming on to the court, and really they're not missing, looking like they're missing Steph Wood at all. So a full court performance from the Lightning here today.
The Lightning missed Steph Wood in round 2 and they were beaten by such a margin. Obviously she's played a lot of this evening's game, but right now they're not missing her. Stour tries to keep it in, but all in vain.
Just seems like the Firebirds are still trying to rush in that attack end. I'd really like to see them just to sort of just take a step back, not look so panicked, just play the ball around and be patient.
Sharing with the throw in for Batcheldor, who spots Cara Conan. It's a beautiful pass. They throw it around, happy to keep possession, and now Conan with the goal.
Oh, beautiful ball from Sherian into Conan then. She didn't want to take the shot.
Tricky one for Riley Batcheldor that she makes look easy. She's 4 from 5 since coming into the game, Riley. One of the now 20-year-olds in this lineup, having turned 20 a week ago, Riley. Gretel Bueha. Sunshine Coast Lightning, a team that Kylie Byrne can be very confident about moving forwards. Riley Batcheldor 20, Annie Miller the same.
That's right, Matt, because, I mean, look, even though their finals hopes are, you know, not there for them, there's still next year, isn't there? They're still going into next year feeling confident that you finish the season off well. There's also contracts to be had for next year as well. So, you know, it's important that they finish the season off strongly. Yeah,
the Hinchliffe twins are only 23. And Batcheldor, effortless for Riley. So, Megan Anderson says, I've seen enough for the time being. It's 15 the difference, and with time ticking away, we need to do something. Coast holding the top 3 Nissan net points slots so far. And that's good from Jenna. But they give it straight back. Lara Hinchliffe.
Well, that's heartbreaking, getting that turnover and then it being thrown straight away.
April Doran had a good crack at that ball. Maddie Hinchliffe pulls it down, goes to Riley Batcheldor, and the Lightning, they're in control at Nissan Arena. We're into round 11 of Suncorp Super Netball. Tomorrow, Fever Giants, Magpies Thunderbirds, then Pivot to set the scene for the final 3 rounds. With finals coming in a hurry, it will be a mad scramble for the makeup of that top 4, you'd imagine. Who's going to host the major semi-final?
Exactly, Matt. Like, we've spoken about how closely contested this season has been compared to other seasons as well. So, you know, anyone could win on their day. We've seen, you know, four or five teams on the same amount of points. So we've never seen this before.
After this game, Vixens, Swifts. If the Vixens win that, they put the pressure back onto the Fever tomorrow against the Giants. And the Giants impressive on Wednesday in Launceston. Joe Harton and the team coming back big time at halftime to take down the Magpies. There's Stour for the Firebirds. But it would have to be something remarkable from here for the Firebirds. You can see the shooting stats for the home team. But this player, Cara Conan, she has been a tower for the Lightning at the post.
Well, she's shot more goals than any other shooter on court at the moment. 88% for Cara Conan. 37 from 42.
Weber. Conan hands over pressure from Jenna, not enough. Laura Geitz, I know you're a proud former Firebird, watching all games at the moment with neutral eyes as best you can, but this must be bitterly disappointing for the crowd, for Megan Anderson and for the Firebirds, because if they're beaten here, they'll have the same record as the Lightning. If we're ruling the Lightning out, we probably have to do the same for the Firebirds.
Yeah, well, look, it's not looking good, is it, for the Firebirds, especially after a performance like this. I mean, in particular, leading into this game, the 4 losses, so now they're at 5 losses. And they're just playing a very different game to what we saw when they were on a bit of a roll there mid-season. So they do make it very difficult for themselves moving forward, as we just see another change in that wing attack. Macy Gardner coming back into wing attack, Dunkley onto the bench. But I just want to talk for a moment about the Lightning and their desperation here today. When there's been any loose balls, there has been a Lightning outfit, the first to those loose balls. And it's just like they're a team that is just playing so much for one another today. They are up and about. The communication is great. And as a result, they're playing one of their best games of the season. So a fantastic performance for the Lightning today.
Yeah, well said. And as you mentioned earlier on, in a way, their fans will be watching this saying, where was that over the last month? With our season on the line week after week. The only thing for the Firebirds is that every goal down the stretch here is crucial, because their percentage is actually the best of any team outside the top 2. Now, if they were to get to 7 and 7, maybe, just maybe, they could force their way in on percentages, but we are getting way ahead of ourselves. Still a thought for them to keep in the back of their mind to limit the Cara Conan scoring from here on and deliver as many goals as they can to look after that percentage.
You can see the pressure, sorry, Matt, the pressure's just dropped off in defence from the Firebirds. It's just, the progression down to that circle is just way too easy.
Bakewell going to the Valiant. There's been plenty of trouble for the Firebirds, but no excuses. Walsh elevates and swats the ball away. But the whistle beat her. Now Cassidy for Sherry. Cara Conan again straight after this. We're off to John Cain Arena. Bianca Chatfield will lead the team down there. Vixens against the Swifts. The Sergeant McInnes trophy on the line. If the Swifts can win by 5, they keep it. Now Conan, when it comes to the Swifts, they were the team that beat the Lightning by 1 on Tuesday, as Batcheldor sends a super shot home. But Laura, suddenly that form of the Swifts to beat the Lightning by 1 looks a little better with the Lightning performance here today. What are your thoughts, Swifts, Vixens, in the game to follow?
Oh, look, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I don't think you can really pick any winners unless you're talking about the Vixens and the Fever, who are sitting pretty in those top 2 positions. But I find that we're asking the question, who is going to fill those 3rd and 4th positions? After the match today, you mentioned it, Matt, Firebirds will find themselves in a similar position to Lightning, so it's anyone's game. I would have to say, though, I think Swifts might be a bit of an underdog heading into this match. They've got the belief that they've won a game by 1 point. You see a super shot there for the Firebirds. I actually think that they might take it to the Vixens today, and we might see a little bit of an upset down south.
You're right, Laura, I agree. The Swifts have been sitting in that bottom 4 for a while, and they've just managed to crawl their way up to the top and sit in that top 4 now. So I think they could be worthy finals contenders.
The Nissan net points, it's a clean sweep to the Lightning. They're the top 5 scorers. Kylie Byrne, you can wear a smile. Your team has been resounding today in its success. In round 2, they didn't win a quarter against the Firebirds. Today, despite that from Mia Stour, they're going to win every turn. 19-15, 17-13, 18-17, and they're ahead 25, make it 26-10 in the 4th. So that 23-point loss in round 2 is going to be beaten by the Lightning's win here, you'd imagine. Inside the final minute, they're ahead by 24. Stour trims it by 2, back to 22.
She's so confident on that super shot, isn't she? Nice way to finish off for her.
So Firebirds fans will be saying, well, we're ahead by 1 overall. It won't count for much as their finals dream disappears, you'd imagine. And Cara Conan levels the overall scoring head-to-head this season. 82-59, so they've reached the same total that the Firebirds put on them in round 2 to shock the league. Talk about revenge.
Well, we knew that that was going to be on from the start, didn't we? Because they don't like to be beaten at home, so they've come down here and they've made up for it. Lovely shooting, Mia Stour. Absolutely sensational.
She's 5 of 7 super shots. Fantastic from Mia Stour. In a beaten team, she's tried hard at the death. Kylie Byrne and the Sunshine Coast Lightning come from a heavy loss against the Firebirds in round 2 to beat them resoundingly in round 11. It's the Lightning 82, the Firebirds 61.